$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Rahman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant, breaking 7 seals. You're going home soon, brothers and sisters. Soon. You'll be home by next year. You'll be wealthy, and powerful, and safe, and secure. Not under domination of these liars. And the influence of liars like Mr. Farrakhan. See this $5,000 there? It's been there for months, years. And not one time, they're totally aware of it, because it's on their website, they've seen it. They've not one time it stood up because they can't. Because they claim, this is what they claim. He told us sync with these, representing Elijah, representing Master Muhammad. They do anything to shut me up, but they had never stepped up and said, okay, remember false lying Ishmael, hey, we can prove, we forbidden the lie. We forbidden the lie to you. And then he proceeds to lie. In the name of Allah, the minister of mercy, and then he proceeds to lie. In the name of Allah. Because everything is lying. It's easy to see that. In the name of Allah, and then he proceeds to just lie his ass off. And then he says, we're forbidden to lie to you, and that's all they do is lie. And no one ever called him a liar. And right there, he's aware of this. I call him a liar all the time. No one's ever called, they say Farrakhan, never call him a liar. Yeah, I call him a liar all the time. Lying son of the devil Farrakhan. Call him a liar for years, so he's lying about that. They say everything, they don't call him a liar. What's that? Go back and check my old presentation. They've been out for years. That's been in there. They're lying about that. All the liars over there. They're going to pay a heavy price. I'm going to follow up what I did yesterday, brothers and sisters. And I'm not going to finish it all today either. Again, it takes hours to put these things together, brothers and sisters. Because I have other things, then I have technical difficulties I'm always confronted with. So I'm working on it, but time is running out fast. You see, brothers and sisters, it's a mind war. I try to get you to understand the difference between the mind and the brain. The mind is like a software. If you deal with a computer, like a software. And the computer is actually the brain. And software determines the information that gets into the brain. And right now, they filled you with so much false data that's you processing. The way you think is the way they want you to think. Because where's the information you get it from? It's from them. You say, how'd you become a Christian? They say, oh, nobody's forced to be a Christian. How do you become a Christian? Because that's the only religion they allowed you to know about. That's how you became Christians. You didn't come up here a Christian. That's the only reason you're a Christian, because that's the only thing, only information they allowed you to have. You know any other religion. You have no counter. You have nobody to tell you anything different, to challenge. And they allow you to think anyway. And they tell you, okay, you was supposed to be a slave. You was born to be slaves. Jesus said so. This is information they gave you, so that's the information you had no counter information. They allowed no other information to come in but that. That's why you are like you are right now. That's what he wants you to think. because that's thinking against yourself and not against them. You got to submit there, and even if you catch on to what they're doing, you're supposed to just forgive them. Because you're a good Christian, ain't you? Who made me a Christian? You're supposed to just forgive. Turn the other cheek. We ain't got no more cheeks. You done burned all our damn cheeks down. 40 years, we got no more cheeks to turn. You gotta understand the man, and that's why things will happen as they happen, because this software is based on all this American dream, all this bullshit, the media. You see how are you paying attention to what's going on over there in the Middle East, also Gaza? You see how the media here is acting like nothing's happening? You get it? So then that shows they control the way you think. So if you think nothing's happening, you don't. And then they're trying to shut down every way that you can think, okay, they control TikTok. So nobody can, only thing you don't know about any of that. And so you go along not knowing, and so they control the way you think. That's why you love them, you go along with them, you're teaching your children, because what you going to teach your children? You own your children the information you got. You want to believe in something, you don't know anything else? You know anything else? If there was Hindus doing this, you'd be a Hindu. To my face. You got to have faith. Faith in what? The Hindus have faith. The Buddhists have faith. They don't want you to think. They stop from thinking 40 years ago, and they make sure and if you do any kind of thinking at all, you only think with information they give you. So that's what you processing. It's like, I went to the military when I was 17 because I didn't know about any of what was going on, history, anything. I know I was ashamed about history because when you went to school, all you heard about Roman history, Greek history, and the conquistadors and everything, and in the movies, you go to movies, you're rooting for the cavalry against the Indians because that's what information you got. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what was wrong. So I'm in the military, when I get all this information, I say, oh, wait a minute. Oh, what the hell is this? I start getting some information. Start finding out stuff. I said, wait, I got the hell out of there. I'm fighting the wrong people. I'm fighting for the people that's working to kill me, that's actually working to destroy me. I got the hell out of there. I walked. Immediately, I didn't waste no time. I put 4 years in. I was in Vietnam, second time. I said, the hell with this. I walked. I left. Immediately. I was a sergeant. I left. Once I realized what the hell, I ain't going to, people raped and beat us, and you ask yourself, why is Farrakhan so easy, so quick to forgive them? I don't know what nothing happened to them. Why? Think about that. Somebody beat us and tortured us and destroyed us for 40 years, raped us, beat us, sodomized our women, and beat our women down, and terrorized our women. Got arrested with you? They terrorized our women and beat them and put stuff in their mouth and in their butt and everything else. It's unimaginable. Had put shows on where they have animals having sex with them and carrying on. This is what they was doing. And we said, I don't want nothing happen to them. I want to forgive them. Fuck you, Farrakhan. Because you're one of them. If I was a devil, why would you just dismiss that? I mean, that's unimaginable. For hundreds of years. Let's forget about what happened to them. Really? That's not. Is that what God's saying? You better read that Bible again. Ooh. That's why they're going out their way. Remember, in Florida? A year ago or 2 years ago? The governor said he didn't want to teach that, slave and stuff in schools no more. Trying to stop it. They want you to know who you are. All they want you to know is you're supposed to love America. You're supposed to worship George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. Are you serious? They were fucking rapists. Pedophiles. They terrorized us. How do you maintain our system with terror 24/7? You know, some of you need to be put back there and then bring you forward and see if you still feel the same way. Somebody put you back there just for a week, then bring you forward and see if you still feel the same way. Because you dismiss your ancestors. It's like they wasn't shit. Oh man. What if they did it to you? And you look forward and you saw your grandchildren kissing their ass and, hey, buddy, fist bump, and they rape you and beat you and put you in jail and execute you and rape your mom and everything else. Then you look ahead and saw your grandchildren. And they say, hey, man, like nothing happened. What would you think? What would you think? I'm not down on you, brother, sis. I'm just trying to get you to understand what is going on. They're controlling information, and now they go out, they open with it, going out. I'm going to get control of TikTok. I'm going to control all the social media. Why do they do that? To control the way you think, control the information you get. Why would they? Ask me a question. Would they dare tell a Jew to build a statue for Hitler and honor Hitler? Would they dare do that? Would they? But with George Washington, Jefferson, that's far worse than Hitler ever did. And we're supposed to respect them, honor them. George Washington, Jefferson, and all the rest of them, actually. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to honor them. Would you tell you got to honor Nazi Germany? You say, hell yeah, you goddamn mind. But we got to honor the founding fathers who said we're 3/5 human. And pissing us for fun before they had NFL and NBA. We was the fun. Burn us. It's out there. They didn't hide it. They put in the newspaper, we're going to burn a nigger this weekend. Maybe two. Bring your family, bring your children, make sure you got plenty of food and stuff. That was a pick. That was in the weekend thing. But it ain't like that now. Oh, really? I don't give a damn if they're angels right now. Fuck them. They're going to pay for what they did. That's what the Bible says. They're going to pay for what they did. Said, I'm going to come and judge that nation. It didn't say I'm going to judge George Washington. I'm going to judge Jefferson. I'm going to judge that nation. That means all of them. That's what Matt Promise said. He said they're 100% wicked. But this clown here, Farrakhan, oh, is it not me? But his father's the devil. Move on, brothers and sisters. Hey, we at it now. It doesn't matter, because that's what it's going to do. The thing is, remember, it's a mind war. So the information is coming in, they control it. But they're going to lose control of it in a minute. They start losing control of it now. That's what all this Charlie Kirk stuff, all this stuff about. People lose control of this narrative. But they're going to be shut down totally. Because this war, it says men's hearts be filled with fear, heart attacks. Then it's coming upon earth because the powers have me. Or was this whole bullshit narrative that you've been feeding you is going to be shut down. And the truth will come in like a bomb, a shock wave. The truth will come in like a shock wave. That's what's going to wake you up. That's what wake you up. See, one of the things happening right now is, let me say this. I probably not getting my breath fading here, but it's just because we here now. You know, right now you got a time bomb going. You got a situation right now where they got these so-called Epstein files. And they hide. Why they hide them? Now, she said before, about a couple of months ago, we can't release it because that will increase greatly increase anti-Semitism. So by saying that, she says, I mean, there's something in there that make people hate Jews. What could that possibly be? it just, blow it up. Then they end up killing this guy. They say he was about to denounce him. So all this stuff, all this stuff is coming together. But see, the problem is, one of the things not telling you is, see, because it has something to do with false Israel. And then Epstein, remember, he was the one. He was an agent of theirs. I said, I'm not going there. I'm just telling you. I'm not going conspiracy. I don't get into that crap, right? Because I see into it deeper than what they're talking. Because what they're trying to avoid prophecy and actually avoid it, actually fulfilling it. They've been derision trying to figure out how to get out of this mess there, and they can't. It's like, if you fall off a 100-story building, right? You be the wisest person in the world. And nothing you can do is going to stop from crashing into the ground. Nothing. There's nothing you can do. You can talk, pray, whatever. And nothing they can do to stop from happening, because that's what's the case in the end. But see, the thing is that you got in this country, you got these people that's totally so-called Zionists. Some are pretending, but some are totally in that camp. They're not called themselves Jews, but they totally in that camp. They're 41%. Because there's rapture stuff and all that kind of stuff, right? Then you got those that call them, that supposed to be say Jews, right? But they pretended, they incognito. And so they get around these other folks, the other white folks, right? And they bring up the subject about us. They secretly record it. They secretly record it. Their plans for us, what they plan, how they really think about us and everything else. You see, when they're amongst themselves, they secretly record it. That's part of what Epstein Power is all about. Because they're going to say, that's why they got America by the ass. It says, we reveal this, what y'all really think, and what y'all planning to do with them. See, that's what's going on. That's part of it. That's a big part of it. And so they got this one congressperson. They got the one vote. See, these other so-called, they don't know what's in there. If they did, they wouldn't want to see it. They wouldn't see it either. They try to play so liberal, they want to find out. They think it's something about Trump or something. Or it's something about Trump, then why the Democrats over there have power? No. It's mostly about you. It's going to come out. So they got this one person, the one vote, that's enough to make it happen, and they won't sign her in. It's been 2 weeks now. They hold everything, because once they sign her in, so she better watch out. They probably might shoot her or something. When she sign in, then they got to release those files. See, all hell is breaking loose, brothers and sisters. All hell is breaking loose. You see it budget and everything else. All hell's breaking loose. There'll be a big explosion in a minute. Something very special is going to happen in a minute that you wasn't. You're going to surprise some of you. All hell's breaking loose. They're trying to hold back the dam. What that story about a little boy was hold back the dam with his finger or something? They're trying to hold this dam back. They can't. This dam is about to burst. Boy, he said, one day, all this shit gonna come down on them. It's about to break. You can see, I see it. The cracks in the dam, the surging, the ruined waves. All this dam is about to break. And when it breaks, brothers and sisters, it's gonna be hell on earth. And nothing like you ever saw unprecedented. It's surging. They're trying to hold it back. They cannot hold it back. They cannot hold us back. They're trying to stop me. No, they got. I'll say some of this. They send people around me that's worked for them. They think I don't know it. Plus, they control how much information is getting out, so make sure it don't get out too far. It doesn't matter. They don't understand how this thing works. Did problem have a media? Did Moses have a media that stopped them? Stupid shit. The information out there, nothing they can do to stop it. The whole thing is blowing up, and it's about to stock it out. Instead, it'd be like, damn, holding it up. All of a sudden, that damn breaks. So boom, You can have Bang in a minute, bro, since it's beyond recognition. Farrakhan, you know, he's part of trying to hold it damn back. Look, he's the man shitting and pissing in a bag. He's pissing and shitting in a bag. He can't wipe his own ass. I guess he called Wishing Love. They call him going to lick his ass for him because they're sick over there. They're sick. They lie. They're desperate. They make up stuff that make any sense. Now they got him all over the net. Shit, 10, 20 years old. Why nothing current? If God told him shut up, he should shut up everything. They put all kinds of stuff. They're trying to make him relevant. Well, he said this 20, 30 years ago. Trying to make him relevant. He's the Messiah. He can't wipe his own ass. He can't even move his own wheelchair. We got a picture of him 2 years ago, and he was in a wheelchair then. One of those times somebody had to push you, not one you can wheel yourself. You think he got better since then? Like God told him to shut up. No, God, no. God shut him up. Now he's getting ready to be. Says who the Lord will consume with spiritless mouth. That's what's happening right now. That's the most difficult part. One of the most difficult part of my mission. Have to deal with these. Because I said, you know, because I keep saying to myself, you know, with the old thing he would say along when I was a child. They had these horror movies, and the guy would say, "It's only a movie. It's only a movie." Because I look at myself, I say, "Damn, how can they be deceived by this clown? How can they deceive by?" But then I gotta look at it again and say, "Well, maybe they're not," because the people they got a lot of people. You see, if you understood what's really going on right now, brothers and sisters, you realize it's all about you. They're doing everything to keep you from rising. That's what the scriptures tell you. They're doing everything, not just them, the whole nation, the world is trying to keep you from rising, taking your place back on the throne. Female and male, you're the God and goddesses. They're doing everything they can to stop that. It's a mind war now, because as I said, they took your mind away. You have to get your mind back, because now you're focusing all the negativity on yourself. And you have to ask yourself, why, if someone did all that to you, why would you just want to pass it up? Why are you so interested in forgiving them? If you forgive what they did, then what the fuck you forget anybody? If you forgive what they did, what the fuck is, what are we going on for? If you forgive them that, then nobody, they did more anyway. They did what to us more than anybody's ever did anybody. They just forgive. They might as well just let everybody just step on you. And plus, why would your women ever respect you again if you don't defend them? That's your job, is defend your woman, defend her honor. Our women are the lowest women on the planet right now. They despise and look down on. People think of them as bitches and hoes. Why would you allow people to think of your women like that? Or they did that to your woman. He said, "Oh, I don't want to happen to America. I want to love you. I love America." Why? Oh, well, you got to be a good Christian. Fuck that. Fuck that false face Jesus. Oh, it ain't going that language. Yeah, because it's wartime now. You don't see it, but you're going to see it in a minute. Because this whole bullshit's going to come screeching halt in a minute. And you'll be looking at death in the face. Then you're going to come to your senses. See? You'll come to your senses. Because you won't have them think for you anymore. They tell you to flee immediately. They tell you you're going to be in a state of panic. They tell you to flee, you can't go in the house to get your baby. You can't go in the house to get anything. You got to run immediately. That means you're going to be in a state of panic. How you going to get in a state of panic like that? Because you wasn't paying attention and you didn't see it coming. But if you saw it coming, you're prepared, and you wouldn't be in a state of panic. That's why you'd be in a state of panic. Our people be in a state of panic. We wouldn't have to tell you to do that if you knew what was going on. They wouldn't have to tell you. That means you didn't realize until it was too damn late. That's why you can't go in the house to get your baby, because if you knew about it, you would have had your baby with you. You'd been ready. You had your car and everything all set. You've been out there. That means you didn't because you didn't pay attention. So now you're in a state of panic. And a lot of you are going to be in a state of panic. So people lost for lack of knowledge. Be in a state of panic because you ain't paying attention. Listen, Lioness Farrakhan, these other clowns out here, he can't prove a goddamn thing of what he's saying. Nothing. You're going to be in a state of panic. It's telling you, you're going to be in a state of panic. Because you have to flee and you can't go in your house and get your own baby. That means you're in a state of panic. And why you get in a state of panic like that? Because they're blocking this information. Because you're not prepared for it. You weren't prepared for it. When you do get it, if you get it all, you're in a state of panic. Oh, I can't. That's what he's trying to tell you. You're going to be in a state of panic. Let's move on, brothers and sisters.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
Yes, they do every day. You say, well, how you fall victim to that? See, all you gotta do is read Exodus. Like Elijah Muhammad said, truth be made so clear, and the fool will not err. So all you gotta do is just drop everything and just read Exodus. If you just did that, that'd be almost enough. Because it tells you everything you need to know. Just read Exodus. But see, they don't give you Exodus. They only give you the part they want you. We're going to talk about that in a minute. These are all liars here. They lie every week. All the time. They know they're liars. Or they're either total idiots. Either way. They're going to suffer the consequence. It doesn't matter if you're wise, white, green, orange, God or angel, whatever. You fall off a 10-story building, yes, it'll be your ass. They will say, oh, that's a little baby. No, gravity don't know about all that. All it knows is consequence. So in language, gravity knows consequence. Oh, here we go. Let me take a little break. Oh, boy.
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flager as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor,
yes, sir,
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity. So I'm only one shade lighter than you, so. And Mustafa may be 4 more shades lighter. We a family.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that. We love you. Go ahead.
One more time, brother.
Was anything they got to do with Elijah's position? Anything he just said after Elijah's teeth, nothing. Totally against everything Elijah Muhammad taught, everything. Totally against the lessons. So they're devils, they cannot be reformed, 100% wicked. That's the God talking. So I guess he changed his mind. He got educated by Farrakhan. See, that's how you know those folks over there, they're agents. They're liars either way. We're just outright idiots. That's how you know. Because that statement right there does not conform with anything Elijah said. Nothing. You can't find anything Elijah said that conforms with his writings, his audio, anything. It doesn't conform with the lessons. It doesn't conform with the scripture. That's how I give $5,000 for just one verse that backs that stuff up. Nothing. So how did he get away with it? Well, like I said, either agents or totally idiots. See, he's when he does teach it all, he teaches out a sealed Bible, because that's what Elijah taught too, because the Bible is sealed until Suleiman, that lamb, will come and break the seals, and then everything will be revealed. So everything before that was against us. It was sealed Bible. And that was the book given to Adam. Let's move on.
A winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. 5 And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold, therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury, it upheld me. 6 And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth.
If you understand that at all, brothers and sisters, that's tell you. Messenger of the Covenant doesn't need an army. You don't need a media. He can do it all by himself. Oh, that's what it says. And this is what happened. Because it tells you scripture will not be denied. Every word will come to pass. We're right here. We're there now, brothers and sisters. We're in the middle of it right now, but you'll see in a minute. See, it said, come to you of a sudden, like a snare. Unfortunately, because you got people blocking it, and they will pay the price for that. Okay, now, remember, this is what Farrakhan was saying, right? This is what Ishmael, he represents Farrakhan, who's supposed to be quiet, but yet they're still talking. Why do Muhammad and any Muslim murder the devil? This is Master Muhammad talking now. The God. They claim that's who they in sync with. They're doing his will. What is the duty of each Muslim in regards to 4 devils? What reward does a Muslim receive by resenting 4 devils at one time? Because he is 100% wicked to all the devils. We'll see what the devils are in a minute. And will not keep and obey the laws of Islam. His ways and actions are like a snake of the grafted type. So Muhammad learned that he could not reform the devils. Can't be reformed. That's not what Farrakhan says. I guess he needs to be taught by Master Muhammad. No, Master Muhammad needs to be taught by Farrakhan. Muhammad says he's got a whole different idea. Remember, this is his teachings. So Muhammad learned he could not reform the devil, so they had to be murdered. Almost with murder the devil, they know he is a snake. And also, if he be allowed to live, he should sting someone else. Each Muslim required to bring forth devils and bring and present forth at one time his ward is a button to wear on the lap of his coat and a free transportation in the Holy Land. It means more than what it says here, brother and sister. But anyway, we move on. I'm just giving you the spirit of Muhammad in regard to these devils. Let's see what the devils are. What is a devil? A grafted man who is made weak and wicked, or any grafted live germ from the original is a devil. And can you reform the devil? No, all prophets have tried to form him. Right? Another lesson I forgot to put, it says the Caucasian white man. Right? So they said what? And so who is? I forgot to bring that in. Right? So I will if it's necessary. All prophets have tried to form him devil, but we're unable. But Farrakhan, he's going to do it though. So they have agreed that it cannot be done, but Farrakhan can do it. He says he can do it. Unless we graft him back to the original man, it takes 600 years. So instead of losing time and graft him back, they decided to take him off the planet, whose numbers only 1 every 11 original people. That's what Master Muhammad is saying. But that's not Farrakhan saying, but he's supposed to be representing Master Muhammad. So he says. So I forgot to bring another part in. It says, I said, what is devil? I forgot to bring who is. Going to tell you it's specific, it's definitely. But Farrakhan, no, they ain't devils. Because he is. He's a seed of a devil. Then you understand biology? His father's Percival Clark, a devil who raped his mama. He's seed of a devil. They try to say, well, drop a black blood, make you black. It might make you black, but don't make you original. You make you skin folk, not black, not skin folk. Okay, a bloodbath is coming, brother says. That's not my main topic, though. But I'm trying to get you to understand the depth of what's about to happen here, brothers and sisters. This war, apocalypse, see, Armageddon is just one aspect of it. Armageddon is the European phase of the apocalypse. See, that fire, he can't get that right. Or war Armageddon, that doesn't know. That's just one phase of it. And that's in itself is terrible. In itself is terrible. Apocalypse. And said the blood is going to be descent over. See, it's a bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath taken over there in a minute in the Middle East. It's going to be a bloodbath like you've never seen before. The sands over there are going to be blood, red, running with blood. They're going to be turned red, running with blood. The Sunnism will be destroyed. Sunnism will be destroyed. Sunnism will be destroyed. That's how. Just think about it. And they're going to be fanatics because they think they're defending the Holy Land, which is not even theirs. Because they're going to think like Medina and Mecca and the Kaaba is under attack by the Shia. It's going to be Iran against Gog and Magog and Antichrist, which is America, Britain, and false Israel. You say, who's Gog and Magog? It's easy to know who Gog is. It tells you right there in chapter 20 who they are. The two nations that will come out of the Dark Ages after 1,000 years of the Dark Ages in the bottomless pit. It'll be two European nations that will rule the world. It's only been two European nations that's ruling the world. Who's ruling the world? We ain't. The world has been ruled by two European nations for the last 500 years at least. America and Britain. That's Adam in the Quran. Adam is made rule. Do we rule? Nobody's ruling but them. That's what know how Adam is. It's to be Gog and Magog. They cover the whole world. Two world powers, not continental, global powers. And they will be at war. War break out in heaven. And it'll be Gog and Magog against Master Muhammad and his angels, the Shia. And it's going to be a war like you can imagine. And blood is going to be the sands of Arabia and we run with soaked with blood. And false Israel is going to be soaked with blood. Because what you see right now, they're doing, it's going to turn right back on them. It's always time of consequence, brothers and sisters, but time backfire. What they're doing right now, they're writing an obituary. So what they're doing right now is going to be turn right back on them. We see Jerusalem surrounded by armies. Who controls Jerusalem? That's them. Their destruction is coming. It's going to be horrific. The Bible says it'll be like something God never did before and never going to do again. Horrific. That's the bloodbath of Israel and Arabia. It's going to be a bloodbath. The sand's going to be soaked with blood like you've never seen before. America, Britain will be just defeated and thrown out. And then over here, America's going to realize that what's happening here is about to come here. And that's why they know a bloodbath is on the way here. And that's why they're going to have heart attacks. Because they know their time is up. Because one of the main things is if you understand this lie I've been telling you that they've been trying, well, I've been telling you, I've been lying my ass off. Boy, I got to be careful, right? The lie I've been telling you, yeah, I go again. Let me put it another way, brothers and sisters. The lie I've been telling you about. But I see it now, boy. See, he said he just me lying. He just said, the lie I'm telling you. The lie that I'm telling you about, the foundation of it is based on false Israel being who they claim he is, because they don't want us to know who we are. And that blood spill would cause false Israel to be destroyed. That means that because vision unites people. And when that's destroyed, the true vision that they've been blocking. See, Elijah Muhammad came and gave a true vision, says we're true to Abraham. And that was uniting us. Even the people that wasn't officially signed up with Elijah, they was sympathetic to it because we had a common vision. But then they set Farrakhan in and destroy that vision, set false Israel up, destroy that. So we as a people don't have a vision right now, do we? He said people that have vision, right, are destroyed, perish. And we are people that don't have a vision. The Europeans have a vision, that's Christianity. India have a vision, they got Hinduism. Everybody's got a vision, but us, we don't have a vision. Or we believe in someone else's vision. Oh, Jesus is going to save us. But Jesus, the one that cursed us black, according to them. And they was ravens and beasts in the name of Jesus for 500 years. It was the name of Jesus they commit genocide. The Christians are the most genocidal maniacs on the planet. That's why the beast call them beast. That's just one question, right? A dog, he likes you. How is he going to treat you? He can only treat you like a dog because he don't know anything about a dog. He come to give you his best bone. He being nice. He love you and give his best. You can't love that damn bone. But he going to. The point I'm trying to make is, if people treat you like they are, we've been treating the devils nice, even though they've been treating us evil, because we are nice people by nature. But look what they've been doing to us. That's because they beasts. They can't treat us no other kind of way. If they was so-called beautiful angels, they would treat us beautiful. They would destroy us. When you hate something, you change it 100%. If you change something, if you hate something 100%, you change it 100%. You can tell how much you hate something, how much you change it. Because if you love something, you don't change it. They change us 100%. That's pure hate. And you better say like that. They want you, because if you try to come up from that, they attack you. You try to regain who you are. And all of a sudden, you got a job. You're in jail. You're dead. They tell you, because they hate you 100%. How they treat us. They treat us like they was angel, good people. They come and treat us nice. They treat the people that was here nice. How they treat how they are. They beasts. That's why the Bible call them beasts. They treat everything they deal with, they treat like beasts. So, well, if they so good, why they treat everything like beasts? Because they are fucking beasts. I mean, how is it hard to understand that? You better break through that darkness of mind they gave you. Some of these things should break through. Oh, well, they ain't like that. No, they ain't. What are you doing over here? We think over in Gaza right now. Who do you think is responsible for that? The person that's pulling the trigger or the person that's giving the gun to pull the trigger with? to pull the trigger on? Who's getting the bullets to shoot with? Who's most responsible? Who's fueling all of that? They do that, then when they do it, they're still beasts. Like I tell people, you know, if you take a lion and lion's eating, he's already took his prey and is eating, and he's full, you can walk around the lion, he ain't gonna bother you. You can walk around, he's not gonna bother you. You know, you can pat him on the head or something, he might be able to do that, but he's not gonna bother you. But when you get hungry again, you better not be anywhere around. And America's starting to get hungry now because we gotta take that, we gotta take Greenland, we gotta do tariffs, we gotta do it. Get hungry. And they're setting you up and you don't even see it. Our people they got dumbed down so much that you have somebody say, hey bro, how do you spell NBA? How do you spell NFL? That's how bad they got us. And we the gods. You're gonna snap out of it in better, bro. Says, I'm not knocking you. You're gonna snap out because I know what caused it. We're gonna get rid of the cause, not the effect. American wants to get rid of the effect. We're responsible we're the fault. We're responsible for all this happened to us. We're wicked. So we swam over here, put ourselves in slavery, beat ourselves, put our women in under their foot and the rape help. We did all that, right? Damn ass. He's through. He's through. He's going down hard. You better read Balaam. I talked about that before. It says I think if I recall, he got 3 chastised. That's one. And the other 2 is worse than that one. Oh, he ain't finished. One brother and sisters. Bloodbath. And then it says men's hearts filled with fear. Those things come upon the earth because that bloodbath's coming here. There's be a bloodbath here like you can't imagine. If you read the seals, if you understand those 7 seals, they're all talking about what's going to happen to America. 1/4 of the earth, all that stuff is going to happen to America. See, I never revealed that until the other day. I just be specific about it. I said it's going to happen, but now I'm telling you, those things are specifically talking about America. Read those 5 seals, 7 seals in Revelation, and you read it carefully. Those are things going to happen to America specifically, but what they did to us. So God ain't forgiving them. He ain't turned us down. He ain't say, oh, yeah. No, he going to kick ass. He said he come for vengeance. He come to fuck up everybody that fuck with us. Is that clear enough for you? Bloodbath. Israel, Arabia, and America. You're going to see blood, like I said, blood hides the warmth of his brow. When all this is finished, there's going to be very few people left on this planet. It's coming to a head. It's going to be like unprecedented times. I mean, it's going to be like you can't imagine. We're days away. It's going to happen this year, brothers and sisters. We days, not hours away, maybe even minutes. They say, we're talking about peace and safety over there now. They got so-called agreement. But times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord comes as a thief in the night. It comes suddenly, you won't expect it. For when they say peace and safety, ain't that what they're saying over there right now? Finally got a peace deal. And then suddenly destruction comes upon them like travail upon a woman with child. They shall not escape. And if you understand the full thing, I've never explained the whole thing before. I left that explain the last part right here, but that right there tells you this particular thing right here, right? This situation right here, where it says talking about peace and safety. Go and look at what it says when you see Jerusalem talking about armies to flee. Same thing. One with child. So that means it connects to that one. And this is about to happen. But that's what he said, peace and safety now over there. Okay. But ye brothers not in dark said you should come overtake you as a thief. Well, if you ain't paying attention, that's what's going to happen. You're going to be in panic. Some of you not going to make it. People lost for lack of knowledge. Exodus. Let me explain a few things here, brothers and sisters. See, like I said, if you just read Exodus, It's sealed. It's sealed in a way that it can be easily explained to you because all you got to do is follow it on the surface. Because it's going to make it so complicated, because we're trying to save you, right? Or no, put another way, we're trying to get you to save yourself. Or put another way, we're trying to show you how to save yourself. We ain't trying to get you to save yourself. We're trying to show you how to save yourself. It says, many be called, but few be chosen. We don't want everybody. We need that Jesus. No. We need to get information. And now, what you do with that information, because like I said, I was explaining to my wife today, we got walking, right? And I was telling her, I said, the warning is to help you get from God. It's like, what help did Noah get? God helped build the ark. The help he got was telling him there's going to be a flood. And then he acted on it. If you wasn't in there, I don't care if you're 2 years old, 10,000 years old, girl, boy, retarded, wise, if you were in the ark, your ass got drowned. That was the help. That's why they give you those scriptures. That's the help that you get from God. And then he tells you what's going to happen, how much time you got to deal with it, and then what you're going to do with it. That's the help you're getting right now. The angel telling you, explain everything to you. You ain't getting it from anybody else. They don't know who the golden calf is. They don't know who the dragon is. They don't know who Gog and Magog. They don't know anything. One fool just, Gog is Russia. Because you heard that from the Christians. Gog ain't no damn Russia. He's stupid. You're going to pay a severe price for it. They don't know anything. So you could make a good decision because you didn't have information. But now information is here, and now you got darkness. That information they have is for winter. Winter's over. The sealed Bible for 500 years, that was the information that Adam got. Got Gog and Magog. Sealed Bible. But when the winter's over, spring come in. You need new information. And that's the information you're getting now. And they can't stop it. You cannot stop the spring. If you're the winter, you can't stop spring. That's what's happening. They can't stop. They can deplatform me, shut me. Okay, see that stop the spring. Can't do it. So Exodus. That's it. The piece you get the warning because you get the warning, and then you don't hit to the warning. Why? If I'm going to help you anyway, what's the point of getting a warning? If I'm going to save everybody, what's the point of getting a warning to build an ark? That's your help is a warning. That's why I call it believers and disbelievers. The believers, right, that acted on their belief, they're the ones that were saved. The disbelievers was lost. Why? Because they didn't heed the message. They didn't prepare for it. They acted on it. So I'm giving you information. For 35 years of getting this information. So it's up to you what you do with it. Okay, Exodus, so look at this. See here? Now, Exodus, what's Exodus say? Exodus says, okay, the God will come. He's got his powerful. That's his power and that will. That's what's strengthening them, that will. That's why they keep everything quiet and everything else. We'll talk about that in a minute. That will. It's the power of that will. Technical marvel. Right? This is Exodus. Now, what Exodus say? He will come. He raised up Elijah. Isn't that what it said? The Exodus. We got to just follow Exodus. Exodus is a clear path to home and hereafter. It's a clear path. Then what happened? Elijah would take, and he would quest a mouthpiece. But God was against it. So they lied. They say Farrakhan's anointed. That's a goddamn lie. All you got to do is go look. The God was against it. In fact, he got angry. It says he physically got angry with Moses, Elijah for answer. He said he physically got angry with him. So you don't need them. But Elijah insisted, so he said, okay. But they tried to, he was anointed. Anointed by who? Okay, so that's what Exodus says. Now here comes Aaron, the mouth. Right? He would be with Elijah, and then Elijah depart. And then Aaron would run it for Elijah would do it for 40-some years. And then he'd go, and then Aaron would run it for 40-some years. Right? Is that what Exodus says? So far, you right on tour with Exodus, right? But that's where they stop right there. Oh, The last one, but who's Farrakhan then? And Farrakhan, man, he's the last one. He's the Messiah. But that's not where the extra stops. It doesn't stop there. They stop you right there, cold. But they agree that part. They say those being part of the book, this and the other. How can they stop right there? Why do they keep going? Because what comes after Aaron? The messenger of the covenant, Joshua. They don't mention him. They'll go right here to Farrakhan and they stop cold. They don't mention the messenger of the covenant, Joshua. They don't mention him. He's in Malachi, the messenger of the covenant that Elijah Muhammad prepared the way for. That can't be Farrakhan. Farrakhan doesn't teach the covenant. Go, what's the covenant? The covenant says we return home after 40 years. That's the covenant. That's the covenant God made with Abram. He said, I made a covenant. That's the covenant. He's the messenger of the covenant. Pharaoh said, we ain't going nowhere, so he called God a liar. He doesn't teach the covenant at all. He doesn't never mention Joshua. Never. Never mention Joshua. But hold it. You was okay up to this point, Farrakhan, but you don't want to go to the next step. That's why you're a goddamn liar or you're a raging. Because how can you say this, and then stop cold right there when this is the one that you should be looking for, seeking? That's the final one. The one that takes you home. But you stop right here with your mouth. Why? Because that's what they want. Because this is what happens. Watch this.
And when the people saw that Elijah delayed to come down from the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Farrakhan, and said unto him, Up, make us gods.
What happened there? Hold on, brothers and sisters. I must have messed up something. Where's that coming from? Why is that happening? Why did it go there? Oh, they messed with my system. Hold on. How did that happen? No, it's working. Okay, now I don't know about what they did. Okay. Okay. I don't know. It's working fine. Okay. Got me again. Let me try it again, brothers and sisters. That's it. They stopped right there. Why? Never mention them. Never mention the covenant. Never mention the covenant we go on. In fact, Pharaoh said we're not going anywhere. We're not going nowhere. So he called God a liar. Read the covenant. Because they mention the covenant, didn't have to say what the covenant is. The covenant says we're going home, but so we're not going nowhere. So they never mention the covenant, but it's right there. Here we go. So what happened is this is the version they're giving us. They had to get rid of they're neutralized. Master Muhammad said, oh, that wheels don't exist. UFOs. That's why they slam it. No UFOs. UFOs don't exist. Whatever, right? That's why they're doing that. I'm gonna show you some things if I get time. Right. I've got some recordings. Right. They talk about this. I didn't put the right one yesterday. So that's one thing you got to do. And then plus, there's somebody to get rid of Elijah. So who's the best one to do it? That's what Wallace did. He came and destroyed everything Elijah did, everything Elijah did. He got rid of all the properties, got rid of everything. He stole the money. Him and Farrakhan was with him. They was together. They stole all the money, liquidated all the assets, stole the money, left the believers with nothing. So, see, it was two things there. The two things was to demoralize the believers. Destroy everything Elijah did, plus destroy the belief in Elijah. I didn't make that point yesterday. Destroy belief in Elijah because, that's why I said nation fell, because there was no leadership. So, because they purposely say Elijah was no good, that his son hated him. He hated him. He didn't hide it. He said Elijah wasn't no messenger. Whilst Muhammad was a trickster, he destroyed everything and got rid of Nation of Islam and started something called Belez. And Farrakhan was right there with him. Bad mouth and the messenger and everything. That was the thing. Did it neutralize? Because if there's no mother plane, then who cares about Master Muhammad? That's his power. He can't mess with America. So that's why he had neutralized that. And then he had to get rid of the whole idea of Elijah altogether. And that's what Waspos did. And plus, get rid of your even faith in him. So you get more like, hey, they ain't no Elijah, he died. He lied to us. So any faith you might have, they sort of take my picture. He was just nothing. All divine or somebody. That's what he did. I was right there. Between 7 and 75, I was right there when what's happened. This is the version they give us right. Then what next? Then they say, he's the Messiah. Not Joshua. He's the Messiah. He's Jesus. He's the Messiah. See what I'm saying? He's the Messiah. See? Nothing after him. He's the Messiah. But he can't wipe his own ass right now. He's pissing shit in the bag. But he's the Messiah. That's the version they giving you. Okay? He got you worshiping the golden calf, which is Sunniism. If you understood the angel key, then you know that's what golden calf is. That's going to be like a bloodbath over there in a minute. And plus, Scientology. This is the version in Exodus they give you. That's not the version I showed you is the one that the Bible gives you. This is the one they giving you. It's it. Nothing after Farrakhan. Elijah wasn't nothing. Man, Muhammad ain't got no power. Ain't no mother plane, no UFOs. Elijah was just a trickster. He was just somebody. His own son proved it. But Sunniism, that's what's happening. And Scientology, and Ron Hubbard. And you think that you go over there in the study groups, anybody that's in study groups knows the truth. Go over there, and when they had a little off the online little chats and stuff, they get to have a group, they be talking to each other. They talk about L. Ron Hubbard. They don't talk about Elijah Muhammad because I was on a couple of them with him. And I said, hey man, I bring up somebody Elijah. They mute me just like that. Mute me instantly. They talking about, they got so much help and everything. They benefit from Islam. They talking about Scientology. Tell me I'm lying. That's the version they giving you right there. He prays. Remember? That's the other part. He prays. I got the video show. He prayed. So he's no God. He ain't shit. He ain't got no power. You got to worry about him. And Elijah, he wasn't nothing. He was just ripping us off. His son said so. And Scientology is the one that's going to help you. It's the one that's helping, not Islam. Right? But if you want a religion, you got to go back to Sunniism. And Farrakhan, he's the Messiah. He's going to lead you, guide you into it. Where he's guide you to? What's the vision? Going no goddamn where. We ain't going nowhere. We're going to stay here with Farrakhan. That's what they're teaching over there. That's there. Well, but you see, they don't want you to file Exodus. If you file Exodus, you won't get none of this. See, that's what's going on. Let's move on.
And when the people saw that,
I'll play a few things here, brothers and sisters. And then I'm going to close.
Elijah delayed. And when the people saw,
I'm going to play Exodus, right? As supposed to be played.
And when the people saw that Elijah delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Farrakhan, and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us, for as for this Elijah, the man that brought us up out of the land of America, we wot not what is become of him. And Farrakhan said unto them, Break off the golden earrings, which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me. And all the people brake off the golden earrings which were in their ears, and brought them unto Farrakhan. And he received them at their hand, and fashioned it with a graving tool, after he had made it a molten calf, and they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which brought thee up out of the land of America. And when Farrakhan saw it, he built an altar before it, and Farrakhan made proclamation, and said, Tomorrow is a feast to the Lord. 6 And they rose up early on the morrow, and offered burnt offerings, and brought peace offerings, and the people sat down to eat and to drink, and rose up to play. And the Lord said unto Elijah, Go, get thee down, for thy people, which thou broughtest out of the land of America, have corrupted themselves, they have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them, they have made them a molten calf, Sunism, and have worshipped it, and have sacrificed thereunto, and said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of America. And the Lord said unto Elijah, I have seen this people, and, behold, it is a stiff-necked people, now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. And Elijah besought the Master Fard his God, and said, Lord, why doth thy wrath wax hot against thy people, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of America with great power, and with a mighty hand? Wherefore should the Americas speak, and say, For mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath, and repent of this evil against thy people. Remember Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, thy servants, to whom thou swearest by thine own self, and saidst unto them, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and all this land, Arabia, that I have spoken of will I give unto your seed, and they shall inherit it forever. And the Lord repented of the evil which he thought to do unto his people. And Elijah turned, and went down from the mount, and the 2 tables of the testimony were in his hand, the tables were written on both their sides, on the one side and on the other were they written. And the tables were the work of God, and the writing was the writing of God, graven upon the tables. And when Joshua, messenger of the covenant, heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said unto Elijah, There is a noise of war in the camp. And he said, It is not the voice of them that shout for victory, neither is it the voice of them that cry for being defeated, but the noise of them that sing do I hear. And it came to pass, as soon as he came nigh unto the camp, that he saw the calf, and the dancing, and Elijah anger waxed hot, and he cast the tables out of his hands, and brake them beneath the mount. And he took the calf which they had made, and burned it in the fire, and ground it to powder, and strawed it upon the water, and made the children of Israel drink of it. And Elijah said unto Farrakhan, What did this people unto thee, that thou hast brought so great a sin upon them? And Farrakhan said, Let not the anger of my Lord wax hot, thou knowest the people, that they are set on mischief. For they said unto me, Make us gods, which shall go before us, for as for this Elijah, the man that brought us up out of the land of America, we know not what is become of him. And I said unto them, Whosoever hath any gold, let them break it off. So they gave it me, then I cast it into the fire, and there came out this calf. And when Elijah saw that the people were naked, for Farrakhan had made them naked unto their shame among their enemies, then Elijah stood in the gate of the camp, and said, Who is on the Lord's, Joshua's, side? Let him come unto me. And all the sons of Levi gathered themselves together unto him. And he said unto them, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, Put every man his sword by his side, and go in and out from gate to gate throughout the camp, and slay every man his brother, and every man his companion, and every man his neighbor, Farrakhan and all his followers, and the children of Levi, Noi, did according to the word of Elijah, and there fell of Farrakhan, legion, and all his demons that day about 3,000 men. For Elijah had said, Consecrate yourselves today to the Lord, even every man upon his son, and upon his brother, that he may bestow upon you a blessing this day.
With a non-human life form.
So the term communication is a bit of a trick word because there's verbal communication like we're having now. The problem is you also have nonverbal communication. And so I would say definitively yes, but from a nonverbal meaning, when a Russian reconnaissance aircraft comes into U.S. airspace, we scramble 2 F-22s, and we are certainly communicating intent and capability. I think the same goes with this. We have these things that are being observed over controlled U.S. airspace, and they're not really doing a good job hiding themselves. They're making it pretty obvious they have the ability to even interfere with our nuclear equities and our nuclear readiness.
Is the United States government or in our contractors, are they pulling technology from this? Are they reverse engineering?
I just want to read a couple of things from Mr. Schellenberger's, what he gave to us today, because I think this is interesting stuff, and I just want to convey this to you. On USG networks, there exists infrared footage of and imagery of a grouping of vessels engaged in SIGINT and massive collection at night in a specific area of the Pacific Ocean. This footage, which was in close proximity to the vessels, a large equilateral triangle UAP suddenly appears directly over the ships. These three bright points are seen at each bottom corner of the UAP, which is observed to slowly rotate on its horizontal axis. And he goes on to describe that. And I just want to read one more, and I'm doing this because I think it's interesting. This stuff is interesting as anything. So let's get this one here, right here. While performing a routine airspace surveillance and control mission in the Eastern Air Defense Sector, an F-22 fighter observed multiple UAP contacts at mission altitude. Moving to intercept, the F-22 pilot noted multiple metallic orbs slightly smaller than a sedan hovering in place. Upon vectoring towards the UAPs, a smaller formation of the metallic orbs accelerated at rapid speed towards the F-22, which was unable to establish radar locks on the presumed hostile UAPs. The F-22 broke trajectory and attempted to evade, but was intercepted and boxed in by approximately 3 to 6 UAPs. And then I'll leave that there, but because I just have no more time left. Well, she's not looking. So let's just get into, let's get into part of this.
I thought I would be saved by the bell.
No. Let's talk about Kuhnian, Lakatoshian type of scientific development. And the problem that we have here is you have
so long till they don't know the birth record, so they just say from remotest antiquity, this is the house that God used to manifest his wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and power in and through. Where is he now? Wherever he want to be. I'm not going to say I know where he is, but I'm glad his power is everywhere. I think I know where he is. I don't want to say because I could be wrong. But he's wherever he wishes to be. Are we to pray and worship Master Farad Muhammad? You don't worship the flesh of any man, because the flesh is going to die. But in that flesh is a wisdom and a power superior to any human being on the earth. So when we look to Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, we look to him. And when he ain't no longer here, the power is going to be here. Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he would live a minimum of 400 years, but 400 years ain't no time he'll be gone. But before he goes, the foundation of what he lays will never be erased from the planet. That's a God. He prays. He prays. He don't pray to himself. You don't say, surely I have turned myself to me. Who does he pray to? He prays in remembrance of him who originated that which he came in. He came in this body. You can't ignore him who originated this. Anyway, it's deep. It's a big...
See the bullshit, brothers and sisters? See the bullshit? Totally against Elijah Muhammad's teaching. Muhammad said you can't make God other than man, but he's telling you, man, if I'm praying to something else. So if he's not a God, and he's praying to a God, you don't tell who this God is, some mystery God. That's totally against Elijah Muhammad's teaching. Because I told you, they got neutralized, take my out of the picture. But why waste time praying to him? You say you can't pray to him. Who are we praying to then? Okay. Take him out of the picture. Okay. The one before that, take him out, neutralizing everybody. Previous, that's Master Muhammad. Here, taking out UFOs, make sure they don't exist. Now truth is coming out. You got to neutralize all that. Control your information, so you have no hope. You have no vision. And I said, God, ain't no God. There ain't no UFOs. You don't pray to him. More about sister.
So long till they don't know.
Watch this one. Here's his son. Remember? He erased the memory of Elijah, destroyed the whole memory of him. He wasn't no messenger. He was by his own son. So I mean, his son said, destroy anything, any power, anything by Master Muhammad, destroy the image of Master Muhammad, the power of him, and destroy the whole memory, the whole idea of Elijah. You see this? Farrakhan's on board with all this because he called this his brother, his friend. He was right there with him when they was doing all that. Deception, brothers and sisters, all Farrakhan, all of them, and his clowns that with him, and all his sides, and all of them, they're all agents. Keep you from understanding who you are. Let's move on. This is.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Wadakuddin and I have had disagreement, but his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't she go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides.
Yes, sir, brother man. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother man. That's real. Both sides. That's real.
Wake us up, dear Apostle.
When we was alive, we set up schools.
That's right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets.
That's right.
We owned buildings. We owned farmland. We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
I'm gonna have to go now, bro, since I can't finish tomorrow. Right? See? The devils who raped us, beat us, tortured us 20, 100 years, terrorized. Love, love, love. Let's be love, love, love. What's that song? Love, love, love. Nothing you think better. What? Love, love, love. You got nothing love for them. But love, being tortured, raped us, pissed on us, messy shit. Love, love, love. What's gonna happen to them? I love it. I love here. I don't want to go to a place else. Love, love, love. But then when it comes to you, put steaks on this table, biscuits, right? And money in his pocket, he's multi-millionaire because he don't have a business anywhere. Plus his ignorant ass son, so-called supreme captain, he's a punk. Talk all this tough shit. He's a fucking punk. Both of them. Farrakhan's a coward too. I knew him. I was there. Coward. They got millions of dollars. But they got to stay pimping the sisters because they can't get the males to do anything. So they got sisters on doing fundraising stuff for him, pimping the sisters. That's why I say both sides. But look what he got for you. But the devil's, love, love, love. For you, a lot. Get the women, eat your ass. See? Hey, did I make that up? You believe your lying eyes? You want proof, you got the proof. So when the time comes, when judgment comes, and your ass is thrown in the flames, you can't blame nobody but yourself. Because the truth was there. And you chose to lie. Because there's nothing, no scripture anywhere, none of Elijah's teachings nowhere, none of the imagination to validate that shit he's talking about. Nothing. I'm leaving it there, brothers and sisters. I have something else to do, but right. That's it. I mean, well, there it is. Eat your ass. That's what he got for you. Because he's the devil. He's one of them. But for love for the devils, all this shit to us, he don't care nothing about our women. That's your pimp. Why would somebody do it to your women and you just want to write it off like it was nothing? To your women. To your women. Because they ain't his women. Our women are his bitches. Because he's a fucking pimp.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Wadafuddin and I have had disagreement, but his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't she go that way if the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent?
Matthew Thomas says apostle reformed devils, they're 100% evil and can't wait to destroy them. 100%. It's not fair. He must stay here.
49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I, if it be already kindled? 50. But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straitened till it be accomplished? 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather division. 52. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. 53. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you dead as hell now on both sides.
Yes, sir, brother minister. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, brother minister. Both sides. That's real.
Wake us up, dear Apostle.
When we was alive, we set up schools.
That's right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets.
That's right. That's right.
We owned buildings.
That's right.
We owned farmland.
That's right.
We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
He neglect to tell you that him was the one that killed the nation, destroyed it, got rid of it. Neglect to tell you that part. See? He don't tell you that part. They didn't want him was the one that killed it.
We have a lot of that going on, but we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody, these are these people, you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work. And they've tried, we've tried, everybody tried. They don't do it. These people do it naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it?
Well, you heard that. Donald Trump is a believer in eugenics. He believes that white people are the superior race. And inner city is code for black people. And he believes black people cannot now work on the farms. I guess they're not good enough for that. So Hispanic people can do it because they have the backs for it. This is what this man is saying out loud in interviews. He is a racist. It's been proven time and time again. The man had Mein Kampf on his bedside table that he would read at night. Enough to let you know where he stands on that. Just more outrageous, racist things from Donald Trump. They want to arrest those who can do the farm work, well, until their backs give out. And then he'll probably ship them to El Salvador or some other country. Just more vile statements from the president and let you know where he stands.
When they were arresting people for praying outside of abortion clinics. I mean, I do think the UK, and I say this as, you know, someone who is half English, I think it's like reached, or it is quickly reaching a point where democratic reforms are going to be pretty tough because of the demographic change. And that, of course, the point of importing all these people is to overwhelm the people who live there who disapprove of the program. So you don't have to care what they think because you just bring in new people, and their will becomes like all that matters. And so I don't think you're going to fix these things through elections at some point, probably pretty soon. And I just worry a place like the UK, Canada is another, a bunch of different countries in the West are at the point where they're literally revolutionary. They are poised for revolution. And as someone who really doesn't support revolution and hates violence and hates civil war above all, I'm worried about that. I mean, I don't see how this is fixed. Starmer, who's, you know, he's just an instrument of larger forces, but he's a poisonous character, obviously, who's really hurt your country. He's in there for, 4 more years? And so you wonder, like, people are going to start to get really radical in a scary way. Like, I think this is going to happen. And the people in charge don't seem to care.
Well, you're already seeing it. You are seeing the anger beginning to manifest itself. And I completely understand the anger. I don't, like you, I abhor any form of violence. But I do understand the anger when you have, you know, Keir Starmer campaigned, I'm going to smash the gangs that allow these little boats to come over the channel, delivering tens of thousands of people illegally into the country. And they then get put into these so-called asylum hotels where they're given a pretty good lifestyle, certainly a far better lifestyle than many people really struggling at the moment in the UK. And of course, far from smashing the gangs, it turned out yesterday that he's smashing new records for the number of people coming in illegally on the boats. Of course. It's out of control. And the British public are reaching a point of saying, we are done with people coming in illegally and being treated better in a more comfortable and more luxurious manner than we treat our own people.
Well, the whole point is to humiliate and degrade the indigenous population of the British Isles, the white population. I mean, that's the whole point. And are they really going to do something about it? What would that be exactly?
Are reaching a point of saying, we are done with people coming in illegally and being treated better in a more comfortable and more luxurious manner than we treat our own people.
Well, the whole point is to humiliate and degrade the indigenous population of the British Isles, the white population. I mean, that's the whole point. And are they really going to do something about it? What would that be exactly? You'd really have to force a lot of people to go back to their countries of origin, millions of people, and you need to do it really soon. And are they actually willing to do that? I don't know, but these are existential questions that we have been browbeat into ignoring for decades. But the question is, like, is Ireland Ireland? If it's majority non-Irish, oh, shut up, they're Irish. No, they're actually not Irish. Same with the UK, same with England, Scotland, Wales. Like, it's all changing so fast. Nothing like this has ever happened in all of history, except when, say, the Mongols swept across the steppe and raped everybody. Like, that was true demographic change on this scale. But even that wasn't as profound as what we're seeing in every white country around the world. I would say the West, but Australia and New Zealand also. So, like, what is that? Now, my brain is not big enough to understand what that is. I have a lot of theories about it, but I don't know if they're true. All I know is what the numbers are, and that's real, and no one feels that he can say it. Everyone's like, oh, well, if that were happening in China or India or Malaysia or Senegal, it doesn't matter. You'd be like, what the hell is that? Like, the population's totally different. Look at graduation. Pick, King's College Law School, and look at the graduation picture for the last 30 years. Who's in it? Just, like, let your eyes tell you the truth for once. Like, this is a total change in population. Is it better? Is it worse? Can't have that conversation. Who's pushing this? Does the population want it? The population clearly doesn't want it. There's no polling that's meaningful on the subject. I mean, there's no referendum on it. You don't get to decide. You've got no voice in it, other than you get to go to jail if you complain loudly enough about it. What is this? I think it's the biggest and darkest thing that has happened in the last 1,000 years, for sure. And I think it's leading somewhere really, really bad. It's not happening by accident, that's obvious, because it's only happening in white countries.
I mean, I think that...
Oh, shut up, white supremacist. Well, in fact, I'm not a white supremacist. I'm just noticing what the hell's going on.
I think most people I've spoken to about this in the UK, most people have always viewed the UK to be a very tolerant, multicultural, cosmopolitan place to live. That's why so many people want to come here. And people have no problem with that. And it's been very successful for a long period of time.
But it's multicultural? What does that mean?
We have a lot of different people from different countries, different cultures, and it's always worked historically.
So is Sharia law in a multicultural country, is Sharia law... What does that mean?
We have a lot of different people from different countries, different cultures, and it's always worked historically.
So is Sharia law in a multicultural country, is Sharia law every bit as valid as English common?
No, people don't want Sharia law here. No.
A lot of people do. Wait, but hold on. I don't know what you mean. Multiculturalism itself is a lie designed to subvert a society. No, a society has a culture. You can argue about what it is or ought to be. It's not necessarily the same as race. It's connected to race, but it's not the same. People from different races can buy into your culture. That was kind of the beauty of the West. But a multicultural society is not sustainable. There's never been such a thing.
Is
one culture will dominate.
Hang on, Tucker. Surely the United States of America, given the very way it was created, is the epitome of a multicultural society. And my point I was going to make to you was...
It's absolutely not. No. It's a multiracial society.
Yeah.
Though it was not actually a multiracial society up until pretty recent. It was just like 90% white for most of its existence, but whatever. But you did have different peoples, you had different religions. That was all totally fine, but there was one culture, as American culture. There's no such thing as a multicultural society. It's not sustainable. One culture will overwhelm the other. Again, it's not the same as race. It's not identical to race. It's connected, but it's not the same. But multiculturalism is by definition insane. No, it's never happened. It never will happen. One culture will predominate. It will impose its values on everybody else. I mean, the gay thing, which was not a thing 40 years ago, gay was a slur, all of a sudden becomes multiculture there. There's one culture, and it's required. And that's true in every society, because a culture is a commonly agreed upon set of values, which in their firmest form are called laws.
But those values can evolve.
This is true everywhere.
But those values can evolve.
Of course they evolve, but there's only one set of them. It's not multicultural. There's one set. You worship one God in every society. Sorry.
But your country's values were established by the United States Constitution, and that's had, 26, 27 amendments? Right. So your own values, as determined by the founding fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing times.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. That's natural. It's natural that people's views evolve.
So the culture changes.
Once you start rejecting the laws of nature, then you're doomed. But let me just say, no, of course, societies change. I get it. All I'm saying, I'm making a very discrete, specific point, which is multiculturalism as an idea is laughably stupid. It has never worked. We never had it anywhere, and it never will exist because it's contrary to human nature. One culture, one way of looking at things, one worldview will predominate, and it will punish all who deviate from it. That is the nature of societies. So if you're telling me it's
determined by the founding fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing times.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. That's natural. It's natural that people's views evolve.
So those values can evolve.
There's one culture, and it's required. And that's true in every society, because a culture is a commonly agreed upon set of values, which in their firmest form are called laws.
But those values can evolve.
This is true everywhere.
But those values can evolve.
Of course they evolve, but there's only one set of them. It's not multicultural. There's one set. You worship one God in every society. Sorry.
But your country's values were established by the United States Constitution, and that's had, is it, 26, 27 amendments? Right, so your own values, as determined by the founding fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing time.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. Natural that people's views evolve.
So the culture changes.
Once you start rejecting the laws of nature, then you're doomed. But let me just say, no, of course, societies change. I get it. All I'm saying, I'm making a very discrete, specific point, which is multiculturalism as an idea is laughably stupid. It has never worked. We never had it anywhere, and it never will exist because it's contrary to human nature. One culture, one way of looking at things, one worldview will predominate, and it will punish all who deviate from it. That is the nature of societies. So if you're telling me it's multicultural, we can all live and like have radically different values, that's just not true. It's never been true. It never will be true. So you're having one culture, one worldview predominate over another and dominate and suppress all dissent. Like that's just what it is, dude.
But
Let's be honest.
I would point to the United States of America and the United Kingdom as two shining examples, albeit not completely without their flaws, but shining examples of places that are deemed by the rest of certainly feel that about my country.
Well, I certainly think that inherent in Christianity is the notion of tolerance, and that draws from a core Christian concept, which is free will. You cannot force someone to convert. There's never been conversion by the sword in Christianity. People decide to believe in it. And so that is central to the religion, therefore it's been central to the society. Western civilization is Christian civilization. And so we call that tolerance. It's a respect for your inherent God-given right to make a choice about what you believe. Okay, so of course, that's always been a feature. My only point is, a society has a commonly agreed upon set of beliefs, rules, and laws that are the definition of the society itself. That's what a society is. So you can't have competing. You can't have, gay world and Sharia world living co-equally in a society. That does not happen. It will never happen. You have to pick one. Are we the Sharia society? Are we the party time gay rights society? Like, which one? And you can't face that reality. So you're just sort of snoozing along until the inevitable point where you're going to wake up and be like, my values have no bearing on what our society is anymore because we've been invaded by other people with a totally different worldview and they're now in charge. And that day is coming very soon for your country and maybe it'll improve it. I don't think the UK could be a lot worse than it already is. It's this kind of disgusting, sad, self-hating, suicidal island that was once great. It kills me to see it as a half English person, but that day is coming. It will change. You will either decide to be Western or Eastern. That's a choice that we're all going to face. I don't want to face that choice, but it's being foisted upon us by the architect. That's a choice that we're all going to face. Suicidal island that was once great. It kills me to see it as a half English. That day is coming. It will change. You will either decide to be Western or Eastern. That's a choice that we're all going to face. I don't want to face that choice, but it's being foisted upon us by the architects of mass migration. Sorry.
I would question your characterization as my country as a sad, disgusting, what was the rest of it, suicidal nation. I feel none of those things. I feel very happy to be in the United Kingdom, and I feel that there are lots of very happy.
Our system, the Western system, which is very distinct from the Eastern system, very distinct, and it's distinct on this one precise point, we believe and have always believed since this country was founded, since your country became, not a pure monarchy, but even when it was a pure monarchy, the belief in the West, because of Christianity, was the worst thing you can do is punish the innocent. That's the worst thing you can do. That's worse than not punishing the guilty. And we often said that to each other. We no longer say that because there is a pretty concerted effort to blur the meaning of these terms. But I'm not going to be deterred from defining words precisely. Terror is murdering people, killing people, punishing people who committed no crime. Period.
So when the Israeli government says it has repeatedly that even though over 20,000 completely innocent children are believed to have died in their response to what Hamas did on October the 7th at the hands of the IDF, there are many on the pro-Palestinian side who say that Israel is behaving like terrorists too in the way that they have gone about conducting this war. Would you go as far as to say that?
One of the things that I really object to now is this relentless focus on Israel, which, by the way, is a foreign country that I have nothing to do with.
We've done this before. Now, maybe today things are different, and we will end up living in a nation that is sharply divided and may ultimately produce something else. But I'm an American. I love my country. I want to see it stay together. I'm interested in social cohesion, which means that I think our laws, customs, and culture have to be dominant. We can accept some diversity on the edges, but not fundamental division. I think we're in a state of fundamental division. So when I bring up Sharia law, I've sat in many discussions with many people that said, well, I don't care what people look like, but I do care about Sharia law, and I don't want that practiced anywhere near my family or in my country. And that's something you should be aware of. So the notion that someone can come here and say, well, that's part of my religion and we're going to abide by Sharia law, they're going to find serious resistance and opposition in the country.
And as I clarified,
It's because it matters. It's this thing we call societal cohesion. Nations do not exist on their own. They have a core population. Our core population from the very beginning was always at least 80% European and Christian, and about 15 to 20% African. But when you start bringing in huge numbers, millions, who are fundamentally different from the core population, you are going to get violence, anger, and conflict. How many times have you heard people say, if you bring people in from the developing world, what do you get? The developing world. And now we've got that. You can't bring in hundreds of thousands of people from Somalia, plant them, of all places, in Minnesota, and then be shocked that, no, they're not Americans. They're not really interested in being Americans. They're foreigners living on American soil. Nobody wants to say that publicly. If you do, oh, well, you're a racist. Well, you know, the world is full of racists. The real war that's going to decide our fate is not going to be fought anywhere overseas. It's going to be fought right here inside the United States. Are we going to survive as a republic, as an English-speaking republic that rests on the foundations of Western civilization? Or are we going to become something else?
One point that is
The Constitution was completed in 1789. I think we had 5 million people living in the 13 British colonies. We were 90% white, that is excluding the Africans that were in the country who had been brought here as slaves. But we were 90% white. We were 90% Protestant. And this may be hard for you to believe, but the people that wrote that were trying to protect all of the Protestant sects from a state church on the model of the Church of England and the Roman Catholic Church. That's one of the reasons it was almost 100 years or more after that before people began to finally accept Catholicism as a religion, because it was viewed as political power. My point to you is the Constitution is outdated. The way we are governed is outdated. It has to be re-examined. Nobody in 1789 imagined that anybody would come to the United States except another lunatic, religious fanatical Protestant who hated the Church of England. That's what people feared. That's what they thought of. The Constitution that we have does many good things, but I would argue that the Bill of Rights is ultimately more important. The Bill of Rights is vital and essential, and that needs to be defended. But the Constitution and the way we govern and the things that we're doing, it's out of date. It doesn't fit our needs. And that's back to my comment on something given has no value. You have to earn it. And we haven't made anybody earn their place in this country. I'm talking about people like me that have been here forever. My first ancestor stepped off the boat in 1681. So we've got to get back to some notion of national service, because national service promotes national integration. It addresses some of these problems that you're discussing. Now, I know that you may not want to conform and may not want to be as I am, but I'm an American and nobody questions that. Nobody ever will. If you don't want to stand out and be questioned, then I suggest that you change your appearance, because I don't think it's life or death for you to wear what you wear.
I think this conversation.
It's not fine, because it's leading to violence that could have otherwise been avoided. You see, every great nation, every large nation can always accept some number of people into its ranks that are different from them. It's always been the case. But if you suddenly import millions, which is what's happened here and happened in Europe, then you threaten the core gene pool. What I'm trying to tell you is there's a problem. And we can all pretend that there isn't, and you can insist there isn't, but that's the view. And I think it's incumbent upon all of us to address it truthfully and openly. Stop pretending it's not a problem. It's a problem.
I mean, what's also a problem is white supremacy, and that's.
No, because you're saying you're different, you're going to remain different, and you don't think that if that's not compatible with being an American, then the hell with it. That's what you're going to do.
Well, then what do you make then of, white American people who convert, let's say, to Islam and choose to cover? Are they not American anymore?
Listen, if they want to do that, that's obviously their business. I don't know how many are out there that do that. I think again, it's ill-advised. I think you have to hold the society together. There has to be an agreement on certain things, customs, culture, way of life. And unfortunately, if you're going to practice rigidly a brand of Islam that demands certain things, and this is why I asked right off the bat, do you support Sharia law?
I'm a Muslim. What being a Muslim means is I follow the guidelines of my religion, which is a peaceful
Does your religion dictate to you Sharia law?
My religion dictates to me to be a good human being, to be good to my neighbors, to
that the most powerful force in today's Republican Party is represented by what Charlie Kirk said. It is this drive to make America a white Christian nation. I got to tell you, this is what they say privately. This is now what they say publicly. This is what Charlie Kirk said publicly.
And Joe, again, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, because you know these people very, very well. Yeah. You said it yourself. You were one of the strongest voices. You were one of the folks who understood the incendiary language when you were in Congress, when you had your radio show, and how people loved when you did it. And then when you chose to apologize for that and turn away from it, oh my God, they literally have just tried to destroy you because of that.
Yeah, again, you know the deal, Roland, right? I came out publicly against Trump 7 years. For 7 years, I put up with death threats on a regular basis. Nobody is welcome in that party unless you bow down to what this force is, this MAGA force. And again, look, there have been some people on the left who've celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder. Shame on them, be better people. But this is much worse, Roland, what my former friends are doing on the right, because they are turning this into a holy war. When you say we declare war on the left because of what some 22-year-old young guy did in Utah, and then you declare war on the whole left, that's a lot worse than celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder, because that's dishonest, but that's also inciting hate and violence. And Roland,
look, Trump's an idiot. So yeah, Trump says the left, the problem in the country is the left. J.D. Vance is not an idiot. What did J.D. Vance say today, right? He was subbing for Charlie Kirk on his radio show, and he spent the entire show going after the left, going after them, they, them. Man, Democrats need to wake up, Roland. This is a really serious deal by my former colleagues. The stuff that I hear privately from them right now, Roland, for the last 5 days, I mean, they want to go to war. This is a holy war.
Oh, it absolutely is. And what really jumps out at me on this very thing here, Joe, and I've been saying this, I played the speech 2 weeks ago that mainstream media just ignored, of Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt, who gave a speech at NatCon, Peter Thiel's group, where he literally gave a white nationalist speech, where he said our ancestors fought for this country to be ours and no one else. He was talking about white people. He was basically saying if you are black, Latino, Asian American, or even Native American, America is not for you. And folks just ignored it. And so people need to understand, again, what they're saying, why they're saying it. And yes, there are many evangelicals, any very conservative white Christians who are pushing this as well. And you nailed it. They want a holy war. They want a race war. They want this to be a white country. It is clear as day.
And Roland, really important point. Charlie Kirk at only 31, the impact he had, because he was one of the most successful pushers of this white Christian nationalistic idea. And so I think that's why all of his defenders are out there so strenuously denying he said anything divisive, because they know if you really go through Charlie Kirk's public record, everything he said about people of color and black women and Muslims and gays and transgenders, if people took the time to go through all of that, and that was put out for average people to see, they'd be blown away by it. That's why his defenders are like supercharged right now. They don't want that record to be seen.
Today, you mentioned, and I mentioned as well, Vice President J.D. Vance sitting in to do his show. And listen to this man just blatantly lie, Joe. Play it.
I read a story in The Nation magazine about my dear friend, Charlie Kirk. Now, The Nation isn't a fringe blog. It's a well-funded, well-respected magazine whose publishing history goes back to the American Civil War. George Soros's Open Society Foundation funds this magazine, as does the Ford Foundation and many other wealthy titans of the American progressive movement. The writer accuses Charlie of saying, and I quote, "Black women do not have brain processing power to be taken seriously." But if you go and watch the clip, the very clip she links to, you realize he never said anything like that. He never uttered those words. He made an argument against affirmative action as a policy. He criticized a specific Supreme Court justice as an individual. He never said anything about black women as a group. He made an argument for judging people of all races and backgrounds by their own individual merits.
Bullshit.
Okay, Joe, this is actually what he said.
No, Roland, that's utter bullshit.
In fact, you know, if we would have said 3 weeks ago, Blake, if we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. you had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color.
All right, Joe. He literally said it. Not only that, Vance lied. Soros does not fund the nation. So he sat there and flat out lied.
And Roland, remind me, what's J.D. Vance's job? He's the vice president, and yet he had time today to do a radio show for a former right-wing podcaster. I mean, look what they're not even, Roland, they're not even subtle about it, what this White House is doing. They believe, man, the path to victory is fear, hate, and division. And that's what they're putting out there. That was Charlie Kirk literally going after 4 accomplished black women by saying they didn't have the brain power to get where they got. This is what he believed. And this is what MAGA believes. And that, again, Roland, broken record, that's why Charlie Kirk was so damn successful, why he had such a big audience.
Yeah, and not only that, you take Nick Fuentes, who's to the right of Charlie Kirk. The night of or the day after Kirk was shot and killed, Fuentes had 200,000 people watching him live. And so what you have this fervor. And so when I listen to Trump and Vance and all these people talk about, how the left, they're indoctrinating. No, and you know this very well, the indoctrination. We've had people who formerly with Turning Point USA put out videos talking about how it was really this cult-like figure, this messianic figure, as they sort of set Kirk up as, and how they want them to follow that. And so that's what's going on here. These people are not trying to have open dialogue. And not only that, Joe, you take Trump, okay? Trump was very clear in saying he was not going to call Governor Tim Walz after those 4 folks were shot in Minnesota. 2 were killed, including former Speaker of the House and her husband. Now today he's saying, he never even heard of Melissa Hortman, and if the governor had asked him, he would have, of course, lowered the flags to have staff. I'm sorry, he's also lying. He knew about her. He knew about the shooting, but he was so arrogant that he said, 2 Democrats, a Democrat Speaker of the House shot and killed. Yeah, I don't care, but lower the flags to have staff with Charlie Kirk. Flies body on Air Force 2. Do a memorial service at the Kennedy Center. Do another one at the Arizona Cardinal Stadium. Give him the Medal of Freedom. And I'm telling you, they're going to give him a state funeral. That's what you're seeing right now. And then you've got Peter Hegseth going after members of the military who said anything negative in the aftermath of his death. You've got Kirk supporters creating a database of people of every social media post, and then even Vance saying in the podcast, you call their employer. So the so-called free speech people all of a sudden are saying, if you say anything negative about Charlie Kirk after what took place last week, we're going to come after you, come after your job. I thought they hated cancel culture, Joe.
Yeah. Roland, I remember back in my right-wing radio days, I would come on every day, and there was always some story about some leftist group on a college campus that couldn't handle speech that made them uncomfortable
to say.
Roland, this is scary, and you and I are old enough, man, to remember huge figures in American history who were gunned down, struck down, military leaders, civil rights leaders. We are treating this 31-year-old podcaster, MAGA influencer, like he's Jesus Christ. So I come from the right. Why are my old colleagues and friends on the right doing this, Roland? Because the right wants a religious war. Let's just call it. They want a civil war. They want a holy war. That's why they're putting him up to be some Jesus-like martyr.
Absolutely. I mean, Glenn Beck literally came out and said he was a civil rights leader. Oh my God, stop it. Stop it. I've seen people say, I've seen a lot of these videos, I'm leaving my church because my pastor did not mention him. This was a Christian warrior. And let's just be clear. You said it, white Christian nationalists. It's slaveholder religion. We heard a lot of this stuff during slavery, during Jim Crow, things along those lines. And this whole idea about, it was about debate. It was about, exchange of ideas. I mean, come on, let's just stop it. And so we see what's going on here. We see the games that are being played. And then what gets me, Joe, is this whole deal of, oh my God, the left, how they indoctrinated him and the accused killer going to a university. The dude was at a university for one semester, Joe. You're trying to tell me that one semester at a mostly white institution in Mormon, Utah, which is not a liberal bastion, somehow just radicalized him? I mean, it really is showing folks of the hand they're trying to play.
Yeah, and I think even on top of that, Roland, I think it was like some technical school. So it wasn't some crazy liberal arts school for a semester. Look, cut through all the BS. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has publicly said that America should be a white Christian country. This is what animates my former party. Roland, you know me, right? Tea Party Hellraiser. I don't come from the left. I left the Republican Party when the Republican Party became MAGA. And my fellow Democrats and folks on the left need to understand, now these people are on the right. Now this is MAGA. MAGA now are the snowflakes. MAGA, Roland, they now need their safe spaces. It's funny, but it's not funny. And you're right about J.D. Vance, man. He just flat out lied. I mean, the last 30-year history of political violence in this country, the vast majority of it is right-wing. It always has been. And they put out this lie that it's only on the left. It's not even, Roland, a both sides problem between the left and the right. There is political violence on the left, but the vast majority is on the right, and they know that, and they're lying because they're trying to inflame their base. And Roland, I hear from their base every day, and let me tell you something, they are inflamed. I mean, they are ready to march and grab their you-know-what. This is a scary time.
It is, and folks need to understand what is certainly at stake. Joe Walsh, I appreciate you joining us on the show.
History of the cross, known by their works. What's the history of the cross? 500-year history of the cross. Murder, rape, destruction, deception, enslavement, burning, terrorizing. To maintain a slavery system, you must terrorize the people 24/7. They terrorized people from Africa and America for 400 years. Constant terror, 24/7, rape, murder. In the name of Jesus. This was Christians, not Buddhists, not Hindus. Christians. Christians, in the name of Jesus, when they said Jesus cursed black people, they call them Ham, cursed them to be slaves and persecuted forever. In the name of Jesus, raped our women incessantly, pissed in our mouths, made us eat shit. And they took and tried to clean up, not clean it up, but make it look more fashionable, I guess, by calling it chitlins. That's after slavery, of course, after so-called slavery. Because what was endured was not slavery. Look up slavery. Look up slavery. It does include murder, rape, terror. This is a Holocaust. And then now they try to downplay it. Oh, that was 40 years ago. No, it wasn't 40 years ago. I don't care if it was a million years ago. It was 40 years ago. It lasts for 400 years. And it's enduring today. They took everything away from the slaves. Everything. Their name, their culture, their families, their religion, their minds, everything. Fed their children to alligators as alligator bait. And then they talk about what's going on in Gaza when they did 1,000 times worse. What's going over in Gaza now is simply just a miniature version of what they did. What they did was far worse than what's going on in Gaza. Gaza's bad. It's genocide. What they did was far worse and much longer. That's the legacy of Christianity. Murder, rape, disease. They wiped out the native population with genocide and disease. Smallpox blankets, knowing they was full with disease. Herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea from sleeping animals. So-called common cold was not common. It didn't exist here on this side of the world until they brought it here. Murder, rape. When they was raping our women, there was a cross hanging from their neck. And again, they taught black, and this was God's will. God's will. The enslavement of our people. And they continue on even today. That's the legacy of Christianity, the cross. So where's your rap sheet? Every time they arrest one of our people, your rap sheet. What's your rap sheet? How are you going to judge people for murder when you're guilty of murder beyond imagination for hundreds of years? Hundreds of years. Theft. You stole this land and murdered its people. And you crushed the native people here. When the braves would go out hunting, you would come into the camps like cowards and kill the women and smash the children's brains out on the hooves of your horses. This is the legacy of Christianity. That's the legacy of it. The question is, if instead of Columbus coming here, Dracula came here, Beelzebub, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Satan, And they all came and said to Columbus, what could they have done that Columbus and those that followed him did? Satan is the God of this world. That's the God they serve. They have know them by their works. What are the works of Christianity? What are the works of Christianity? Where's the works of Christianity? Evil, deception, mischief, bloodshedding. It goes on today. And what's going on in Gaza, just reflection and microcosm of what was done here in America for hundreds of years. Raped out women incessantly. They would even rape while they was out in the fields picking cotton. They would jump off their horse and tell them to bend over and rape them. And tell them to keep picking cotton while they was doing it. This is the kind of stuff that they would do. Make one slave defecate in the slave and slave in the mouth of another slave, and then bound it up so they couldn't spit it out for 7 days. That's a legacy of slavery. You did it all in the name of Jesus. That's a legacy of slavery. Legacy of slavery. 40 years plus. Legacy of Christianity. Legacy of the cross. That's the legacy. That's the true legacy. So whose works are those? Who are you serving? Who are you serving? The legacy of the cross. Where's your rap sheet, America? Gog? Where's your rap sheet, Magog? Britain? Where's your mateship? Where's your rap sheet? Antichrist, false Israel? Where's your rap sheet? Then they colonized Africa. They're stealing for ripping off everyone. That's the legacy of Christianity. They've been ruling for over 500 years. And now, the threat of nuclear war to finish off everything. That's a legacy of Christianity in the name of your Jesus.
Talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Surely you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their ways. Come out of their pagan holidays where you should be honoring Jesus. You are out here buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter hunt. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus out of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. The heck is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
Back to their people. When they was put off on the shores of North America. And the ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our best hero. They stood and stared at it disappearing in the horizon, crying, wanting to return. With their hands stretched out towards that ship and tied in chains themselves bound together. And when they was put off on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and a strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be the worst enemies that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that would destroy them. They soon discovered that on this ship that they were being brought here on. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us when this ship was named Jesus. This is how that we have always been deceived by the white man, trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to lull us off in a mental sleep, thinking that we are on our way to heaven. This is terrible. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will. You and I, turning your face from your own native land and turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel? Acting such. And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your own? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their own 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself after the white man say you are free. Remember that.
Surely you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Surely you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their ways. Come out of their pagan holidays where you should be honoring Jesus. You are out here buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter hunt. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus out of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. What the heck is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
And do it back to their people. When they was put off on the shores of North America. And this ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our best hero. They stood and stared at it disappearing in the horizon, crying, wanting to return. With their hands stretched out towards that ship and tied in chains themselves bound together. And when they was put off on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and a strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be the worst enemies that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that would destroy them. They soon discovered that on this ship that they were being brought here on. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us when this ship was named Jesus. This is how that we have always been deceived by the white man, trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to lull us off in a mental sleep, thinking that we are on our way to heaven. This is terrible. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will. You and I, turning your face from your own native land and turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel acting such? And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your own? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their own 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself after the white man say you were free. Remember that.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulaiman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant. Okay, brothers and sisters, it's been a year now, and we're finally home after 40 years in Arabia. I'm reporting to you from Arabia. Finally home after 40 years. Right? And so we've been here a year now. And there was an agreement made. A former slave master, he said, we had a choice. Stay here or leave. Right? So we chose our inheritance, Arabia. So we left. And half the original people decided they wanted to give up their inheritance and trade it for a place in America and reconciliation with their former slave master. That's their choice. They chose, said, we don't want to go over to Arabia. We don't go over where it's sand and all that stuff. We want to stay here in America. We've been here all our lives, been here 40 years, born here, right? And we can make peace with our slave master. Okay, so they decided to stay. And so after a year, right, we're getting reports of how things are going over there. And it doesn't sound too good. How things are going over in America with their reparations. Because they was given, they got 6 states, I believe. Yeah, see? Yeah. Yeah, they got those 6 states right there. That's what Farrakhan told them. You know, they was following, listening to Farrakhan. Farrakhan promised them, you know, they stay there, 6 states, right? Had their own land. And they can make reconciliation with former slave masters. They're not devils. They're not devils. They're human beings. They just had a rough, you know, they were just, you know, did some things wrong, but now they, you know, they're gonna make amends and make reparations. So 6 states, and in addition to that, they gave everybody $1 million. Everybody stayed $1 million. Okay? Say, thank you, Farrakhan. They're so happy. Thank you, Farrakhan. Thank you, Farrakhan. Man, you got 6 states. That's what you promised us. We got 6 states. They're thanking you. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? And you know, I mean, this was a year ago. They got the 6 states. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? Everybody got $1 million. Everybody $1 million. And they're rejoicing. Oh man, they're so happy. Hey, we came here. We made it. We got America, man. We got reconciliation for a master. We got 6 states. Everybody got $1 million. We're all rich. That was a year ago when we left. Okay, so we're in Arabia. They're still back there in America. And now we're getting reports a year later. This was the way it was a year ago, man. They were so happy. They were so happy. Right? And now we get reports of what's going on right now. Let's see. Oops, it says a power failure. Great power failure in those 6 states. Power failure. And just those 6 states. Right? So, and now they had a big master, they came asking to turn the power. Well, why can't they do it? Oh, Farrakhan didn't train anybody. He was telling you about 6 states, but he never prepared you for them. So nobody knows how to do it. How to turn the power grid back on. So now he's begging, man, master, can you come and turn this thing back on for us? I mean, you would think that if he told him 6 states to promise him that he would have prepared him for it, right? Their schools and education, whatever they needed for that. But now I guess they didn't, because they say over there now he's begging the former master to come and turn the power back on. And then what? I mean, this is all that's happening now. I mean, I'm getting these imports in now. A year later, it's like they're coming in every hour. Power grid failure, right? Then say, oops, crop failure. All of a sudden, there's no. They say they looked at the farmers when they doing the farmers said, oh. So then they had master, what's happening here? How come right? Our crop. They found that the land they gave them wasn't that fertile. A year later, nothing's growing. Crop failure. And now master, what's happening here? Right? And then, I mean, all these things, every hour that's coming in, right? And then they look, and man, they had, a year ago, they had plenty of food on the shelves, right? And now, they look there now, and all the food's gone. It's gone. She said, what am I going to do here? Food's gone. The house is empty. So he said, Master, we need some food. Well, how come you can't produce your own food? I mean, you want your own country. You got your own states. That's your country. Then you run it. What are you calling us for? Right? So they're praying. And then, oops, no fuel. There's master, no fuel there. Well, you got to buy your fuel. You got to produce your own fuel. What you calling us for? You got your own 6 states now. What you calling us for? Go and get some fuel. You got money, right? You got your own states. So you got to get your own. What you calling us for? You said you wanted your own, so now you got it. And you got your reparation, so we don't owe you anything anymore. We don't owe you anything anymore, so what you calling us for? We don't owe you anything. You said you agreed to 6 states and $1 million per person. You took that instead of your inheritance, what you call the Abrahamic covenant, Arabia. Your brothers and sisters, they left. They took that was offered to them. They took it, and you said no. I want this instead. So now you got it. So what you calling us for? Oh, no communications. Oh man. No communications, right? No medical facilities. So what's going on, Master? Wait a minute, hold on. What you calling us for? That's yours. You got to handle that stuff. You want us to handle it for you? You want independence, now you have it. I mean, wow, this stuff is coming every hour, man. Instead of like a year, they was celebrating. And now they're crying and begging the master, hey, we got all these problems here. I said, wait a minute, that's yours. Where'd you come about your problems? You have to work those out. Right? No transportation, I mean, no planes, no nowhere. We learned about fly the planes and drive the trucks and the boats and stuff and to go and get this stuff. Well, what you done that for? You wanted this, you got it. So go ahead and train your own pilots, build your own planes, build your own boats and right? You see what I'm saying? Transportation, build your own trucks. What you calling for? Yeah, Master, we see this. You said you wanted 6 states, you got it. You want $1 million per person. That was the reparations. So then if you didn't pay people to take care of this, how is that our problem? You're independent now. You're really free now. Oops, no fuel, the gas station's empty. I can't drive, man. And no gas. Man, wow. All this stuff happened like for a year. They thought that everything was great, and all of a sudden everything ran out. So I guess what happened? Everything was there when they got it, and then it ran out. They had to, for them to replace the fuel, to get the farms going. So they was left with that stuff. The factory was full. I mean, warehouses full. Then you had to keep they thought that was just going to, I guess they thought it was just going to be there, just by itself. They didn't prepare for it. See? And they ain't trained any engineers and scientists and architects and stuff. They you know, business, they didn't train anybody. So Farrakhan, he told you he's going to get this for you, but he didn't prepare you for it. He didn't get anybody to handle this stuff. So what was that all about? So now he asked the master, said, hey, don't call on me. You was here, you had it when you was here with me. You said you want independence, you wanted reparations, so you gave it to you. Well, call on your brothers over there. They left, they handled their own business. You said you want to stay here. Right? See? You don't have any professionals or technicians, scientists, doctors, none of that. See? I mean, that's what, you know, because, I mean, if you're going to set reparation, you should be preparing for that, right? So if he was telling you about reparation, you should be preparing for it. If he said, God said that's where he's going to get you, so if God told him he's going to get that for you, then he should, like when God told Noah there was a flood coming, to only build an ark, so he started building an ark. And so you should start preparing for the 6 states and the reparations, but apparently you didn't. And so now, the devil said, look, hold it. We want total separation. I mean, look, we don't want you to call us no more. We don't want you to call us no more. Because you're wearing us. You want your own country. You got your own land. Right? You got money, $1,000,000, all this stuff, right? And so now we got to protect your money and everything too? No, you have to create your own money. You have to do all these things, your own wealth, not ours. Right? So we're going to cut you off from that too. That's all economics. So they go and tell it. They tell all the people, and you know, on all the white folks, right? All the black folks. Now all the black folks is either in Arabia or in those 6 states. That's the solution. You had to be one way or the other. There couldn't be no integration, that kind of stuff. That's the deal. You just said one or the other. So all the black folks are there, ain't no integration, that kind of stuff, right? Black folks are there, one or the other, so they're there. So he said, okay, right? So they just say, we're going to take our money because we don't know what y'all doing over there. You have your own money, you have to find your own wealth. So what they do is they tell all the white folks, say, protect your money, right? Transfer your money into gold. Just all your dollars into gold. Okay. Now remember, they gave everybody $1 million apiece. So everybody got $1 million apiece, right? And so they transfer it to gold. And then what happens is that what they do is they start just printing money. White folks just start printing money. You understand what that means? That's inflation, right? Because if you got $1 million of gold, a million ounces of gold, say a million ounces of gold, understand this, and you got 1 million certificates, then you say each certificate is worth 1 ounce. If you got 1 million ounces, each certificate is worth 1 ounce. Understand that? If you got 1 million ounces of gold, and you got 1 million certificates, each one of those certificates is worth 1 million. You know, if you want to say trade with the certificates, each one of the certificates is worth 1 ounce of gold, right? But if you take and print, you say you got 1 million ounces of gold, and you got 1 million certificates, each one. But say you print twice as many certificates, you got 2 million. Well, then each certificate is only worth 50 cents now, because you got to connect that to the gold. Well, you print 4 times, then each one is worth a quarter. So the more you print, the less they worth, because those certificates has to equal what the gold is. You understand? So the more you print money, the less, right? The less they're worth. So if you print twice as much money, right, there's less gold. You understand? So if $1 is worth 1 ounce of gold, which that's right, then if you print double that amount of dollars, then each one's worth half an ounce. You understand? That's what printing money without increasing their wealth does. That's inflation. So what happens is they keep printing. They get down to where $100 is worth a penny. But see, that doesn't affect their people. They told to protect their money because they transfer their money to gold. So gold still has its value. It's just the dollars don't. It still got the same amount of gold. But the dollars, they get down to a penny. So you can't buy it. You had $1 million, now your $1 million worth of $5. That's what all this worth. $1 million. Hardly worth anything. Oh, what about you? Hey, that's our money. You gotta have your own money, you control your own wealth. You can't keep coming at us what you're doing. And you think they wouldn't do that? Yeah, you been a Gaza lately? You see what happened to the trees they made with the so-called natives? Kept telling me you had a forked tongue because they kept making trees with them, then they broke the trees. And took their land and genocide and everything else. But no, they wouldn't do that to you. See? Because now you have, your money's worth nothing. They haven't lost anything. Because once that money's worthless, it's no good, right? Then you bury it up, throw it away, it's worth nothing. The people still got gold. And even if they take it, hold on the money, hope to increase again, they just use another different certificate, use another form of money. So it's still worth nothing. That $1 million you had, you was so happy with it now, it's probably worth maybe $1. So you can't buy anything with $1. Plus the economy's collapse because everything is failing, and you don't know how to repair it. You don't know how to get those communications. You don't know how to do any of this stuff. You're not an engineer, build a house, you don't know how to do anything because Farrakhan didn't. Right? He didn't prepare you. He told you he'll give you 6 days. He told you, listen to me, right? So now you're broke, and your economy is gone. You have no food, no electricity, no power, anything, right? It's not their fault. They gave you what you asked for. You still had your inheritance for that. And then they closed the border. Because you're going to try to get back into America now. We want to come back in, Master. No, we don't want you back in here. We're sorry, we want to come in. No. That's what you chose. You stay there. They closed the border, so you can't get back in here. You can't get back in America, into what you could call your land now. Swaziland or something? Farrakhan. Maybe call it Traveland. Farrakhan. They met the Farrakhan. Right? So they close the borders, you can't. Because now you're hungry and everything else, your money's worthless. Oh God, come back, Master, I'll come back work for you, I'll work for Popeyes, I'll do anything you want. No, remember, now blacks, either they over in Arabia or they in that land. There are no blacks in America, in places, just in that land, that you 6 states. And now you're starving, you ain't got no, your money's worthless, nothing works, and they close the border. Right? And then you see Master, you on the phone, you talking to the guy that you kept treating, help you. Hey, we finally got rid of niggas. Finally got rid of them. Finally got rid of them. See on the phone. Yeah, it worked. We sold them the reparations. We sold them that used car. You turned the miles back and everything else, and they bought it. See? They could have had a BMW. They could have had a Lamborghini. They sold that for a BMW that looked good. Damn thing didn't work. And now they're starving, living in tents. Praying. So what? Then what next? What we gonna do, Farrakhan? What we gonna do, Farrakhan? You told us to take reparations, so we did. But they gave us everything we asked for. What we gonna do, Farrakhan? What we gonna do? Pray, 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 pray. That's his answer. Pray, pray, pray. That's your reparations. Like Elijah Muhammad said, he had a big picture. We leaving, and blacks staying on the shore, the ones stay behind, and they was whooping their ass. Right? Because they thought you think they would give you some land and take care of you? You think they want to do that? And go bankrupt, give everybody $1 million? You know how much that is? If it's 17 million, if it's 17 million times 17 million times a million is like $17 trillion, I think, something like that there. Then they're going to do all that for you. They want to get rid of you. So now they have succeeded because they closed the border. And what you going to do? You want to fight to come out? They closed the border. They got the military around there. They finally got rid of you. No more black problem, no more Negro problem anymore. One group's out of here, another group that's here. They're gone, and our hands are clean. We gave them what they wanted. Well, anything. Okay. God honors contracts. Remember, he honored the contract with Jacob. Esau sold his birthright for a bowl of soup to Jacob, which was Esau's inheritance, and God honored it. Okay, Jacob, it's yours. You're the one. And that's the deal. Because he ain't your friend. Pharaoh ain't your friend. Pray, pray, pray. That's the answer. And this homeland you was promised, you know, you rejected it. So now you got what you asked for. So if they gave you reparations today or tomorrow, how would that scenario not play out like that? Well, they say, okay, you got it. Tell me how the scenario wouldn't play out like that. And tell me why they wouldn't do it. They love you so much, they're going to say, okay, we're going to take care of them. I mean, why should they go out their way to take care of you when you was right here? You was working at Popeyes and living in the get up on Section 8, all that stuff right here where they, because you know they're trying to get rid of that stuff right now. Trump's trying to get rid of all that stuff right now. Because they're closing on you, you don't realize it. Anyway, that's just, that's what's happening over in America. Wow. Boys come here. Disaster over there. And I just got a call. Oh, wait, hold on. Really? You serious? Our ambassador just got a call from I don't know what they call them. They call it Conland or something. I forgot what it is. Something they call it right there. That 6th day. They begged us to come and help. Can they come over here? Can we come and get them? Really? Can we come and get them and bring them? Oh, no. Now he wouldn't ask Master Farad Muhammad, right? He said, no, hell no. We ain't going to get them. And I agree with that. Yeah, the bastard said he said, let's call him, and he passed the word to Master Farad Muhammad. Master Muhammad said, send him back. Master, no, we can't come and get you. You chose, you made your choice, live with it. Or die, whatever the situation is. Wow. I can't believe that. They actually, right, sent a message over. I don't know how they did. I don't have any communication with it. Somehow they got the information over to him. Said, we please come and get him. Nope. Said, no, tell him no. And don't waste time communicating with us anymore. You got your land, you got your reparations, you got your money, you got Farrakhan as your leader. Yeah, tell him, talk to him, let him straighten out for you. He didn't want to sell you the idea. He was a salesman. So you on that idea of reparations. We told you. Right? Suleiman, right? He was the messenger to you, telling you, look, man, let's go home. You said no. You chose not to. Okay, well, since that's a sad story. But I guess that's it. Is that it? Oh, they're not getting more reports on Okay, he says that was Master Prophet Muhammad's final decision, and I think they closed communications off from there. So, like I said, brothers and sisters, we got those rides that came in. All that came in today, man. Came in fast. After a whole year, total collapse. Now they're begging it. Somebody help them. We can't do it. Maybe Master help you. We won't do it. Assalamu alaikum. Update, brothers and sisters, got another late report in that they said, well, if you want to come and get us, well, we at least send them some food. They begged, said, please send them some food. Master Muhammad said, no, we got to send them a damn thing, nothing, zero. He said, please just send some food. No, I just got that in. He says, if you can't come and get us, please send some food. He says, no. He refused. I said, boy, I just got the information from the ambassador. He said, they sent that, and he's ready to meet. He says, no. He said, please, just please send us some food. He said, no way. You made your choice, case closed. Okay, just got that in, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.